Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I wanted to make a list of some of the traits that we see that can actually be compiled to describe a very attractive man according to quite a bit of research. The research is going to be in the description box, but I'm also going to cite it when I'm speaking so you know which one correlates to what. I think it's interesting. I'm also going to describe the level of the evidence, like the strength of the evidence, just so it's helpful, because some of them are very strong, and then some of them I would almost say is moderate, which means that I think it might need to be reviewed again, or maybe we need more research or different methodologies. And so I think that's helpful. That's just my opinion. That's how I look at papers. So the first one is actually healthy skin. Now, healthy, clear skin is where you can look at the research. It's 2006, 2009, and 2011. This strength of evidence is what I would consider very strong based on those factors. But regardless, I still want to talk about why this is. I don't necessarily mean that you have to have an entire skincare routine, not necessarily really at all. All this means is that you have a pretty normal skin composite overall. Typically, it just means that from a psychological perspective, evolutionary psychology and biologically, you just have a healthy genetic predisposition. It means that you are free of disease. This is where this comes from, which is why there's a lot of evidence on it. You're welcome to look at it, but it's just there's so many little variables. But overall, we do see that healthy skin is one of the more attractive traits. Attraction from a significant standpoint, not just for short-term relationships, but also long-term relationships. The other one is also very similar. This one actually is much more, this research, 2011, healthy body composition is very specific to men. There's a ratio, a waist to shoulder ratio where the shoulders are much more wide and the waist is more, thinner or smaller. This is the strength of this evidence is also very strong. I pulled the one in 2011, but there's plenty of other research. What this does, there's numerous studies, numerous. If I put all of them, the description box wouldn't fit all of them. But why is this important? Well, this is one of the most important characteristics, and it's also pretty common that most men naturally look like this a little bit. You can do things to make yourself stand out, but the reason is because it signifies strength and masculinity. And masculinity typically means, from a subconscious perspective, viable to be a husband and the father of offspring. That is typically where this comes from. It does show typically a healthy level of testosterone as well, which does show that you can produce offspring. That's where that comes from. Now, the next one is not that strong. I'm going to put this at moderate. It was a review in 2014. It's like I don't think this is like the best. You can look at it, but grooming, yes, it's beneficial. But the reason why I put it as moderate is because, yes, it does from a conscious perspective, but it's not as subconscious, which likely means that, you can do all the grooming you want, but if you don't fit all of these things, you may not be perceived as naturally attractive as maybe somebody who worked on the other things. And I like to be honest with you guys, which is why I kind of rated the strength of the research as well. So I'm going to put this one more at moderate, whereas the other two, they are very strong. In fact, part of the reason why is the numerous studies, right? The first one was 2006, 2009, 2011. The 2011 one also showed the body composition, but there is so much research on that one. I've actually made plenty of videos on that alone because it's very strong. So that one is strong. This one I'm going to say more moderate. The next one is this is not that strong at all. It was briefly mentioned in that review, 2014. I wouldn't even say this is moderate. Less than moderate, but facial hair that complements your face. This was brought up very, very briefly, but it was there. So I'm going to say mild, perhaps. I wouldn't say moderate, less than moderate. The next one is interesting because it's supported mainly by nonverbal behavior and social perception research rather than entirely just like physical attractiveness, but this does signify it is attraction. It's good posture, but usually it's a sub point to another characteristic. So I'm going to put this one at moderate. The research is 2013, but it's not too strong, and there's a lot of other things that's covered, and so that's kind of important to look at. The next one is there's a lot of research. 1999 is one of the fundamental ones, but there's plenty of other ones as well. Eye contact, usually followed by a smile. People who are comfortable doing this is perceived as attractive. I'm going to say this one is strong. I wouldn't say it's very strong, but it is strong. And it's also something that you guys can practice as well if you don't fit this. But it also depends on the perspective, because normally this doesn't mean that you're always smiling all the time. It just means that it's genuine. It was in the 1999 research, it mentioned genuine, the fact that it's perceived as genuine, because it shows that there are moments where you are smiling and that you are warm, and likely it's because she, as the woman, is perceiving you that way, which makes her feel comforted by your presence. Okay. This one was very brief in one of the research. I'm looking at my notes. I think it was the 2013 one. Yeah. So this one I would say mild as well. Briefly brought this up, where your clothes fit you, like comfortably well fitted. This was mostly through like perception. So I would say that this one needs much more research behind it, if it's even necessary. Very mild, but it's there. The next one is fitness. Now, this one was done for evolutionary psychology. The literature does show that fitness cues signal attractiveness. Research in 2011. But this one's interesting because the perception of what people perceive as attraction and physical, like fitness cues, it's different. So it's kind of hard to paint this particular picture, whereas the other one, in just looking at my notes here, the body composition that was mentioned in this same research was very specific about the shoulder and waist ratio. However, when I was looking at this one, the perception of fit was not fully, like, everyone has a kind of different description. What I'm seeing is it's just that you are eating well, you're taking care of yourself. You don't have to be over the top with anything, but it does seem like you have some physical fitness. My assumption of this, and you can look at the research as well, because there's a couple of them that does cite this as well, is it is because it shows that you have endurance and strength, and that you can keep up with certain things. That's really the perspective I had there. Now, the next one has so much research, I don't even know how to, it's going to be in the description box, but there's so much, like 2006, 2011. Yeah, let me just pull up like 1998, 2013, quite a bit. I don't know if it's all going to fit, but I'm going to try my best to fit in the description box. This one is social skills and confidence. I don't think anyone's surprised by this, but I think it's important. Social skills and confidence is supported by social psychology, evolutionary psychology, general psychology, clinical psychology, and this is just a broad way of saying that you are comfortable with yourself, which shows that you're trustworthy. You have social skills, which allows you to communicate with her, this woman that maybe finds you attractive, and you're confident, meaning that she can be confident in who you are as well. This one is very strong. Did I mention the physical fitness is strong and then the well-fitted clothes are mild in terms of evidence of strength? That's just what it is. And so I'm going to summarize it so you guys can kind of put it together as well. Clear skin, which 2006, 2009, 2011, that's very strong. Healthy body composition, 2011, among other things, very strong. Grooming, mild, 2014, briefly. Facial hair, 2013, mild. Good posture, I put it at moderate, but I did / mild, but we'll just leave it there. Moderate. Nonverbal research, 1996, and other research as well. There's quite a bit on that one. Genuine smile, 1999. Strong. Fitted clothes, a lot. You'll see that in the comments. In the description box, and that is also 2014. That one is mild. Physical fitness, strong, 2011, and then social confidence, a lot of them, and that's very strong. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.